The national average cost of preparing a pot of jollof rice has risen about 153% between March 2023 and June this year, reaching over 27,528 naira. Now, that's according to SBM Intelligence Jollof Index, which also shows price escalation has been broad-based, affecting key ingredients such as proteins, pepper, onions, and vegetable oil. Meanwhile, the Jollof Index in Ghana has also trended upwards, but with greater volatility and intermittent periods of deceleration. The index climbed to 420 Ghana cedis in June this year. Cheta Wadze, lead partner at SBM Intelligence, joins me now to unpack the numbers and the need for urgent coordinated policy response in West Africa. Cheta, thank you so much for joining us on the show today. When we take a look at the Nigeria's Jollof Index at this moment, this is showing a near seven-fold increase. And then the scenario is somewhat little change with Ghana. Yes, there's volatility, but with little periods of deceleration. Walk us through the full picture here.
Okay, thank you for having me. In Nigeria, we've seen a national surge, really. It's been climbing since we started to collect this data back in 2016. And from 2023 till now, as of mid-2023, the average cost of cooking a pot of jollof for a family of 5 was about 10,881 naira. And now it's about 27,528 naira, which is a 153% increase. The total increase since we started is about 587. In Nigeria, the main drivers of the inflation are currency devaluation. So that's what made it begin to accelerate in 2023. Then there's insecurity in farming regions, and then of course, which leads to supply chain disruptions. If I want to look at
Yes, Cheta, if you can still hear me, we're talking about the pressure points here and whether or not the improvements we are seeing in local currency stabilization and also supply conditions is helping to ease the matter as we have at this moment.
So for Nigeria, I would say that there are three main pressure points. There's the currency collapse, if we were to call it like that, the devaluation, insecurity, and then the fuel subsidy removal. The fuel subsidy removal led to a hike in transportation costs. And this basically affected everything along the value chain. So moving most of the ingredients that for the jollof that we produce in Nigeria need to move from farm gates to markets before getting to consumer tables, and everything was affected. So that fuel subsidy removal had an effect. I don't think I need to say too much about insecurity. Banditry in the north disrupted farming. So, for example, we had the collapse of the onion supply in Bauchi sometime in 2024. And then, of course, the currency collapse, the Naira devaluation spiked the cost of imports, so that even when, for example, a couple of months ago, the government tried to import a lot of rice to help bring down the prices, but the exchange rates did not have, because of the fluctuating exchange rate, it didn't have as much impact as people would have hoped. So these are the key drivers from my point of view in Nigeria: the currency collapse, insecurity, and the fuel subsidy removal. In Ghana, the key drivers would be import dependency. Because of the import dependency, Ghana imports a lot of the ingredients, especially rice, and the external factors such as the war in Ukraine have had an effect. Then there's an urban-rural divide in Ghana. So Accra and Kumasi have seen such shortages because of storage issues and seasonal reasons. So these are the key drivers. Yes. Although Ghana has done a better job in terms of managing things from a policy perspective.
Now, Cheta, talking about the way forward now, inflation still remains sticky. The bigger concern for Nigeria is the fact that we're seeing month-to-month acceleration in terms of food inflation. Ghana is able to contain the picture a little more. We are seeing some improvements when we're looking at regional trade facilitation strategies, investment in logistics, and also climate resilience agri strategies. But speaking to country-specific priorities, what should be top on the table now?
In Nigeria, there are two things that are top of the table and have to be top of the table pretty much at the same time: security and infrastructure. One complaint that we received in every part of Nigeria that we visited to collect this data was because of the quality of the roads. So we spoke with a chef who lives in Akute in Ogun State, and she gave a very stark example that stuck in my head. Um, During the last Ilea, there was a bridge collapse, which I haven't even heard of until we interviewed her. There was a bridge collapse, and basically the moment that happened, the prices of tomatoes just went through the roof. So bad roads have been a problem for Nigeria, and that has increased the cost of logistics. So for me, like I said, Nigeria, two things: security. We need to fix security. I mean, we can't run away from the fact that there's a lot of violence in the middle belt, which traditionally is Nigeria's food basket, and then infrastructure. For Ghana, they need to expand climate resilient crops to cut import reliance, farming climate resilient crops, and then they need to invest in granaries to mitigate seasonal swings because most of the swings, Ghana has been relatively stable since we started doing this index in Ghana in 2023. But most of the time that you see swings is because of seasonal reasons. Of course, a policy change that cuts across both countries would be
Yes.
we need to find a way to facilitate regional trade. Because
Coordinated
regional
policy
trade,
action is required at this moment more than ever.
exactly.
Cheta, would leave the conversation here. Thank you for your time. That was Cheta Wadze, lead partner at SBM Intelligence.